Hey Internet, Eric here. Been a little while since I did my last video. I apologize for that. I've been super busy with work and other things. But I figured if I want to stay relevant, if I want to stay, current, I got to pump these videos out and show you, I'm at 30 subscribers now and I appreciate that. But what's the point of having 30 subscribers if I don't throw out fucking videos? So tonight I'm going to do another You Hate It, I Don't. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And You Hate It, I Don't is an idea I came up with where I feel like I'm in the minority. And what I mean by that is I'm in the minority of enjoying a film, where I feel like I'm the only one who enjoys this film and the rest of the world fucking hates it. And if it's not just me enjoying it, I'm like in a very, very small select group. And hence the You Hate It, I Don't title. And if you are actually not new to my channel, welcome back. And if you've seen my other previous You Hate It, I Don'ts, you've seen that I have defended a couple Friday the 13th films. I've defended a Halloween film. So what is next? Nightmare on Elm Street. And I'm a huge Nightmare on Elm Street fan. If you've seen my videos, you know I fucking love the horror genre in general. And every time you see online or read any article, if they rate the Nightmare on Elm Streets from best to worst, the one I'm going to talk about today or tonight or tomorrow or yesterday, whenever you decide to watch this video, the one I'm talking about tonight is usually in the bottom three. And I don't think it deserves to be in the bottom three. It definitely deserves to be over Freddy's Dead because that movie is sadly pretty much a joke and is definitely the weakest of the series. However, the one I'm going to talk about tonight, if you haven't already read the fucking title of this video, is the sequel to the original. Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. And came out in 85. Directed by, who the fuck? Jack Shoulder. Who fucking cares? However, it stars, we have Mark Patton and Kim Myers, and obviously Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. And the basic plot summary is, be forewarned if you've never seen my videos before, sometimes they can be spoiler heavy, sometimes it can be spoiler light, but that's just what I do to get my video going. Takes place 5 years after the original movie. And the main character is Jesse, played by Mark Patton. And he has now moved into Nancy's old house. Nancy, the original final girl from the original movie, Nightmare on Elm Street, played by Heather Langenkamp. And Jesse has recently moved into her old house, and he's been plagued by these constant nightmares. And at first, we don't see what the nightmares are. And one day, while he is cleaning, unpacking his room, with Lisa, like I said, played by the beautiful Kim Myers. I had a crush on her so much when I first saw this movie. She's like she's like Meryl Streep, but with red hair and actually super pretty. They're unpacking Jesse's house and unpacking Jesse's room, and they find Nancy's old diary. And she writes down a lot of things that happened in the first movie. She writes down her love for Glenn, her boyfriend from the first movie, who's played by Johnny Depp, the nightmare she's having of Fred Krueger, the man who wants to take her into the boiler room with knives for fingers. And then she eventually talks about Tina's death, and Tina was the first person killed in the original movie. Now, how can I say this? Eventually, we see what Jesse's dreaming of. And what he's dreaming of is Freddy trying to get into the real world. And what he's doing this way is he's getting into the real world by possessing Jesse's body physically. And every time a murder happens, we end up seeing, the person is killed, but then we see Jesse holding the glove, holding the famous knife glove. So it's obviously Freddy making Jesse do these murders. And eventually, obviously Jesse's parents, think he's on drugs, and eventually Jesse and Lisa have to find a way to defeat Freddy, and they do. The end. Now, the reason I really, really enjoy this movie is they take it into a different direction. And that's one of the reasons why, if you've seen my videos, I enjoyed Jason Goes to Hell a lot, the Final Friday. The reason why I really, really enjoy Halloween 3, and to a lesser extent, I've defended Friday the 13th Part 5. And I like it's more, instead of, just a nightmare movie, it's a somewhat of a possession movie. And it's, literally it's Freddy trying to possess Jesse's body and have him physically kill for him in the real world, but still staying in whatever dimension, like if it's the dream world that he's trapped in after Nancy defeated him in the first movie. And honestly, it's a neat twist. You don't expect this, and sadly, they never really go this route again until Wes Craven's New Nightmare came out. Honestly, I'm going to praise a lot of the acting. And you don't really think you're going to praise acting in a Nightmare on Elm Street film. Trust me. Mark Patton as Jesse does a really, really, really good job of showing Jesse being, his tortured emotions, dealing with Freddy, possessing him, him wanting to protect Lisa a lot. I don't really know a lot about Mark Patton. I know he recently just did a Kickstarter project to get a documentary made about his experiences in Hollywood after coming out of the closet, and just all the random shit that he's had to deal with, which is, yes, why Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 is also known as the gay one, which takes away, which sadly I'll get into it, but it takes away a lot of the impact of the film. Mark Patton is he's out of the closet now as a homosexual, and there's a lot of gay undertones in this film, intentional or not. It depends on who you listen to, and it really doesn't matter to me. It's still a really, really good film. But yeah, Mark Patton, congratulations. Me and him have chatted on Facebook numerous times. Congratulations on actually getting your Kickstarter project financed, and hopefully the documentary comes out soon. Anyways, that's Mark Patton's strong performance. A lot of the characters are really good. Kim Myers does fantastic as the lead actress. She's very emotional when she needs to be. She's strong when she needs to be. She cries when she needs to be. Comedic relief by Robert Russler as Jesse's buddy Grady. Great. He's the lovable asshole. If you've ever seen Robert Russler, he's you can see him as a goofy asshole in the original Weird Science, but he's also very good as a villain in Stephen King's Sometimes They Come Back, the TV movie. But in this movie here, in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Robert Russler is very good as the comedic, best friend. We have Marshall Bell. Search his name up. Probably the most famous thing Marshall Bell has probably done is he's Quado from Total Recall, the man with little Quado stuck inside his his chest. Marshall Bell is so sadistic in this movie. He plays the asshole gym teacher who's always, he's always having Grady and Jesse do unnecessary punishments, because they get in fights or some shit, or he's just, like I said, he's just a fucking asshole. And then we have Jesse's parents, Clu Gallagher, Hope Lang, very well done as concerned parents. Clu Gallagher does a very good job as the father who doesn't believe what Jesse's doing, what's really going on, and thinks Jesse's on drugs, because of all these things that are happening. Yeah, so acting very well done. Surprisingly, in a fucking horror film, a sequel to a really good horror film is really well done. We'll talk about Robert Englund right there, as Freddy Krueger. Possibly one of the best opening sequences in the whole series, we start out and we're inside one of Jesse's dreams, and he's on the bus coming home from school, and he and a couple of the pretty girls, from his class, or girls that he knows, obviously, are the last ones to be dropped off, and they miss the bus stop, and they drive out into the desert, and they are stuck on eventually the ground falls from under them, and they're stuck on two pillars, and then you see that the bus driver, who, if you look closely in the very beginning, it is Robert Englund without makeup. But eventually, you see that it's Freddy Krueger driving. And this is a very, very intense opening sequence. And the tension is really well because, it's in the dark. And all you see lighting up the screen is like lightning flashes. And Freddy is slowly walking from the front of the bus to the back of the bus where Jesse and the two pretty girls are hiding. And he's slowly, meticulously teasing him. And what you've come to know from the Friday the 13th movies, the Nightmare on Elm Street films, is Freddy's tendency to take his claws and scrape them across metal. Well, here, this scene, which is really well done, he slowly scrapes the backside of the school bus seats in a slow, spooky, meticulous way. And then eventually, of course, he swipes at the girls, and then Jesse wakes up. Like I said, there's not a lot of dream sequences at all because Freddy is possessing Jesse in the real world. I really like how you can tell when it's Freddy and when it's Jesse, because when Jesse is being possessed, there is no glove when Freddy's in his Freddy form, because it's actually, you can tell it's Jesse because you see his hand. I mean, it's burnt like Freddy, but there's no glove. The blades are actually coming out of the fingertips, so that's how you can actually tell it's Jesse doing all the tormenting. There's a really cool scene where Jesse is at Lisa's house for a pool party, and a lot of people hate this, but Freddy is actually in the real world. But I always excuse it as it being Jesse. But there's a scene where Freddy's magical powers are coming into effect. The temperature of the pool is starting to get hotter and hotter, so it's starting to bubble and boil. And then out of nowhere, Freddy jumps out of the ground, and he's hacking and slashing all the party guests. And the gore is really well done. And then he does the famous, "You are all my children now" saying. So if you are Freddy fans, you want to know where that theme came, or that line came from. It came from this one, okay? God, yeah. Like I said, the gore is really good. There's no really focus on a lot of comedy, which is where the later installments came from. Like I said, with Freddy's Dead, where Freddy's basically become a fucking walking punchline and dressing up like the fucking Wicked Witch of the West, literally riding on a broomstick with a fucking hat. Yeah. Now, here we go. The elephant in the room, or the 500-pound gorilla, or whatever you fucking call him. It's known as the gay one. Okay, fine. Mark Patton is, at the time when he made this, I believe he was in the closet. He like I said, he's since come out. So you have that stigma. You have people looking into this because Marshall Bell plays the coach, and he, like I said, he's always making Grady and Jesse do punishments. Well, eventually Jesse sneaks out of the house and he goes to an S&M bar, and you see Coach Schneider there in full S&M gear, and he sees Jesse and he takes him to the back to the school, makes him run laps and throws him, says go take a shower or whatever. And it's just, I've read so much shit online how the scene where, spoilers, Coach Schneider is killed, he's attacked by a lot of the basketballs that are in the lockers, and a lot of the tennis balls shooting at him, so it's balls being thrown in his face. Okay, that's really, really reaching, people. That's really fucking stupid and retarded. let's see, and then he's taken into the showers. He's stripped naked. Okay, because he's in the showers. Now, there's a scene where he's getting like wet toweled, which is kind of retarded, but it doesn't mean it's, it's because he's fucking gay. There's a scene where Jesse and Lisa are about to have sex in the cabana, and Freddy's possessing Jesse and almost makes him attack Lisa. So Jesse runs away and he sneaks into Grady's room. And there's a line where Grady says, or what was it? Jesse says something to the effect where there's something inside me there's something wanting my body. And Grady says, yeah, she's hot for you back in the cabana, but you want to sleep with me. He doesn't really want to fucking sleep with Grady physically, okay? That's just a fucking joke because Grady's the goofy fucking comic relief. But then again, it's people people are so focused on the homosexual undertones of this movie, it just takes away from the fact that this is really, really well done. However, I will say this, and this is not me trying to, make any gay slurs or not. The scene where Jesse's right before Lisa comes over to help him, the dance sequence where he's dancing to, I don't know if it's Sinead O'Connor or something, but he's dancing to some song, and he's bumping into the dresser drawers. Sorry, that is kind of gay. But all that aside, I think people are literally reaching for stuff just to bash this movie, and it really doesn't deserve it. The makeup effects on Freddy are really well done. The problem is that a lot of Freddy is kept in the dark, so you can't really see the makeup too much. But when you do, I really think it's well done. Yeah. Shit. What else is it? There's not much more I can say about this film that I haven't said before. It literally is not worth all the shit it gets. Although, when I recommend this to some people and I have them over, I'm just like, we gotta fast forward through that dance sequence. Because that is really, I couldn't tell you how many times I've watched this with people and they just, give me that look during the dance sequence. So I can't defend that part. But the rest of this movie is really, really well done. Really good. Tension is great. Scares are good. Great nods to the original film. But yeah, like I said, I'm really, really happy with the performances in this. I guess Mark Patton now, since he's come out of the closet, I think he is technically, or at least he's going by the title of America's first male scream queen. So, because this fucker can scream, and whether he's screaming like a woman, what have you, he can scream, and he does it really, really well. So, on that note, I really recommend that, as of right now, it's the only one streaming on Netflix. If you don't have a VHS copy like me, or the Blu-ray or the DVDs or what have you, definitely give this one a shot. It is not worth all the shit it gets. Seriously. And what have you got to lose? Fucking 90 minutes. It's not even 90 minutes. It's 87 minutes. There you go. It's under an hour and a half. Throw it in whatever system you have. Watch it. Skip past the dance sequence. And then enjoy the rest of the movie for what it is. Yeah. So, thank you for watching this. I'm sorry it's taken almost 2 weeks for me to get another video. Like I said, I've been fucking busy. Thank you for... Hopefully, if you are a subscriber, thank you for subscribing. Please like the video if you want, or dislike it. I'm starting to get dislikes, and I don't really care. But what I really enjoy is the comments. Please interact. If there's something you would like me to review or discuss, feel free to throw it out. I'm open to watch, I'm a movie lover at heart, not just horror movies. As you can see, I haven't just discussed horror movies. My last video was a really shitty Dolph Lundgren film. And trust me, it was not pretty. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to do what I call a lot of blind reviews. I mean, obviously, I'm trying to defend this film because I've fucking seen it before. And a lot of my movie reviews, what I like to do is I like to have the physical copy of the film just so you guys have a visual. But I'm now doing a lot of blind reviews because what's the point of you watching my channel if you know I'm going to give the movie like a thumbs up? Because very rare do I own a film where I think it's garbage, like fucking Halloween 5. And the only reason I have that piece of shit is just to finish my Halloween collection. So if you have any, ideas, suggestions, feel free to throw them out. I just acquired one of those Sets 20 horror films, and a lot of them I have no fucking clue what they are, so expect a lot of those reviews. However, I would like to say, once again, thank you for your support. Cheers. Go watch Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. And my buddy Gollum, fuck you, I do what I want.